Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1736. Ladies and gentlemen, they stopped me. They stopped me at the gates yesterday. I was going to do a show, and something called an off-air alarm took me away from you. Off-air. I had to make it go on-air.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I had to help get a radio station back on the air, so that took away my precious podcasting time. So
Mike's Daily Podcast,
broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. There's so many things that I want to tell you about. Halloween was so much fun, and let me say this now, I'm putting a stick right here in the ground with a flag on it, and I'm saying, we will decimate Sandy.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
No, I'm not talking about Hurricane Sandy or any of that. I'm talking about the street Sandy. Because Sandy
Mike's
is what
Daily
we have
Podcast
in Castro Valley. What's a Halloween version of Candy Cane Lane? Halloween Lane. Something like that, maybe? With the or what was that town?
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, pumpkin scream in the middle.
Was it Halloweenville in The Nightmare Before Christmas? Which I have never been on the Haunted Mansion when they turned it into Nightmare Before Christmas. Look who walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing about my horse today? Hey, Nelly.
And it's disgruntled Philip there, tell you what.
What?
It's the liberal left-wing media that is causing all the problems in the world today. Vote Trump 2018.
He's not running in 2018. He's our president for 2 more years.
Yeah, but you know what?
What?
He's under attack by the liberal, don't trust the fake news people.
Oh, okay.
You are fake news.
Fake news. Fake news.
Boy, I can't believe that works anymore. People are that stupid still. So here's an interesting fact that you may not have thought about.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture today is Basil, the boxer, who's going to bark in just a moment. And I'll tell you more about this picture in just a moment, because just a moment. I noticed the other day, I said my point is, Basil. I kept saying, so my point is, dang, I got to get away from that. That's what's a crutch? We call that in radio a crutch. I got a crutch. Hey, all right, I know I get a little liberal sometimes, but if you listen, and people, what the people that Trump calls left-wing media, they are, for the most part, holding up to ideals that were put in the journalism. So the Edward R. Murrow line of thinking, where you have to be unbiased, you have to have both sides of the story. And you go, Mike, that's false, it's wrong, because...
Wrong. Because you'd be in jail.
Because that's just wrong.
Mark, are you imitating me?
No. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I know it. Just wrong.
Actually, I'm a little deeper than that.
It's wrong. It's wrong. That's as deep as I can go. Wrong.
No, it's more like wrong.
Oh. How does Trump do it?
Wrong.
So what happens is we have this thing where media... All right, let's just look at it. All right, we're an alien that just landed on planet Earth. Okay, let's go from that angle. Okay? And you have this thing called the media. Okay? And then you listen to it and, what is the media? What is the news specifically? What is news? News is supposed to be facts brought to you. pure, plain. I think all of us approach news with that basic understanding is we want facts about what's going on in the world, in my town, on my street, where we are going to decimate Sandy. Sandy, your days are numbered. Your Halloween days are numbered. You are not going to keep getting all those people showing up to your place for Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
By the way, I didn't get to do a Halloween show, did I mention, because the station was off the air and I had to work on that, and it just saddened me so much, because usually I like to talk about the people at Cafe anyway, all dressed up. Like Benita's in this really cute outfit, like she's a rodeo queen or something. I am a rodeo queen, but I dressed up Nilly. Nilly looks like Don Draper from Mad Men. I don't know how that's not even timely anymore. That show's been off the air for 8 years, so has it been that long? I don't know. And then Disgruntled Fiddle Player, you look like you're like a mad cowboy of some kind.
I didn't dress up.
Well, see, and we have somebody else here that brought us some wonderful root beer.
Hello, Mac. I make the delicious root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, drink some Akeem.
I saw so many Mario, with the suspenders. Your suspenders that you wear, the brewmaster, is what made me think of Mario and folks from that video game that I tried to stay away from, because at that point of my life when it came out, I was, okay, I've overdone it on video games already. I've played way too much Pac-Man. I can't do the Donkey Kong. I did a little bit of Donkey Kong, and then we got the Super Mario Brothers, and I was, no. But what I was going to tell you guys... Where were we? Oh, we're going to decimate Sandy. Oh, last night on Sandy, so my lovely lady friend and I are walking up Sandy, and it's a street in Castro Valley that gets all this foot traffic on Halloween, and probably, I would say, 75% of the houses on that street, there's one or two, maybe three, that don't decorate at all. In fact, they put up barriers in front of their doors saying, sorry, we're not giving away candy this year. To which my lovely lady friend said, hey, if you went through all the work of finding a barrier and printing out pieces of paper that said that and taping it and making a whole to-do, you might as well have just turned your lights off, pulled your shades down, done it that way. So someone knocks on your door. People get... but Mike, they didn't want the doorbell rung. They wanted to be left alone. Oh my God, it's one day a frickin' year. Just open the door and say, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have candy. It's one night a year. Oh my God, some people. I can't believe that. So Sandy, Madison is going to kill Sandy. Madison's going to kill Sandy. By the way, a shout out to Madison, the name of a Yorkie that, and I think he says this. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Oh, no, wait, that's Chihuahuas that say that. But Yorkies are the cutest dogs, and so I met Madison 10 years ago. So Madison's getting up there. Madison, I think, is slightly older than Basil the Boxer. Basil. Who barked like crazy every time the doorbell rang. My point is... Oh, crap, I did it again. Can I get a sound for... Point is... What I'm... To conclude, is that my summation is... Madison is going to kill Sandy. Those words mean nothing to you. Don't even think about it. The point is Sandy is going down. And we are going to take it over. The street... It's a street next to... It's a street near me. Let's just say that. Hey, the point is... Thanks for listening to this show. And I'm sorry for saying the point is. But thank you to my neighbor, 3 or 4 doors down. I forget now. But we live very close to each other. Not adjacent. Not adjacent. We do not live adjacent. Because I don't even know what that word means. No, we're not right next to each other. We have a little space. You know, you need a little breathing room. It is the Bay Area. And for the most part, people live on top of each other. And park on top of each other. There's too many people in the Bay Area. I think all of us would agree. But my wonderful neighbors that live very close by, nearby, not next door, but nearby. By the way, Nextdoor, the app, is huge. It is freaking killing, because the fact that people on Nextdoor were talking about Sandy, this one little street in Castro Valley, huge, that they were discussing this street brought all this foot traffic to Sandy. I've never seen Sandy that packed. People parking on streets adjacent, had to use that word again, to that. And when I say adjacent, don't I get my little bell? Not the doorbell, the other one. Not the doorbell. Not
ring, 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 ring. Banana phone.
Not that one. Thank you. So what we have is people showing up because of Nextdoor. This app is taking over. I think people are done with Facebook for the most part. And I did listen to a podcast the other day that talked about, okay, and this is why I'm saying all this about the conservative media, liberal media, news, and how news is supposed to be devoid of, it has to be objective, not subjective, right? People have to say, they have to leave their opinion out of it when they're reporting the news. And when I listen to NPR, honestly, I do hear at times a liberal slant. At times, very seldom though. When I'm listening, I'm hearing both sides, even with talking about Trump. I mean, they are very quick to point out when Trump says something that's wrong, and that's part of the deal with news. Is you're supposed to fact check, and you're supposed to say the truth. And what I was saying, oh boy, whoa! I think I just got into an eddy. I got into a early morning eddy at 5:55 in the morning, having gone to bed, and very late, getting maybe 5 hours sleep. I think I've lost my mojo, my train of thought. Maybe not my mojo, but I still have, I think, the string. Let me pick up the string and follow where it went. Okay, news is, yes. So the New York Times Daily, that wonderful podcast, yesterday's show, and I wanted so much to talk about this on the podcast yesterday, but I got stupid off the air alarms for the radio station that I had to fix because we were hearing this in the morning.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
I would like to tell you that there is this thing called something Mad World News or something to that effect. And the New York Daily tracked down, first off, this was a whole difficult thing, was to find out who that was. Because this is a news source that's popping up on Facebook and is the whole reason why Mark Zuckerberg, one of the many reasons, this type of news, quote unquote, it's not even news, this type of rumor mill company is the whole reason why Mark Zuckerberg said
we have a basic responsibility to protect people's data. And if we can't do that, then we don't deserve to have the opportunity to serve people.
That's him talking about the privacy issue. But, it was more about here, we're going to try to stop the fake news, the actual fake news, where news is being slanted with an opinion so much to appeal to the people that are opinionated. And we are an increasingly more and more opinionated world. And I got a compliment from my neighbor that at least I'm a little more open-minded and I see things from both sides. And when I was talking about religion the other day, I was trying to give you a lot of different angles on religion, not just saying religion's bad or religion's good, okay? And that's entirely wrong behavior. I didn't play this for you. I did this for a guy I do the morning show for. I produce his show, and listen to this real quick. See if it makes any sense.
Happy Halloween from Rob Black and his coffin at Kron, his Kronfin.
Was that good or what?
Awesome.
It's a nightmare of a show.
Well, let's get on with, as we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. So going behind the Mad World News people, it turns out it's just two people. They do have a staff that writes for them sometime, but it all started with this guy who was working for a book publishing company, and he started writing these, I think he created a website, where he was writing news stories that he would pull from Fox News and other places and then doctor it up make it a little more lascivious. And then he was starting to get all these views. And this is and you know, he was getting reposted on Facebook, and it was a massive wave. And this is what led to, you know, the Russians saw this sort of thing happening and got into it.
America elected Donald Trump. And yeah, the Russians helped.
And to Mark Zuckerberg's credit, he's pulled the plug on that. And this big empire that this guy built, this mad news thing, he is, it got taken away from him, basically, when Mark Zuckerberg, to the point that he was making millions of dollars a year, and now that's gone to, they're practically going into debt. Oh, and I was so happy when I heard that. I was like, yes, there's justice. Because people were so fixed on Facebook. They're not so much anymore. I think they're pulling away. I think they're going to the next doors. I think they're finding other websites. Unfortunately, they're also finding Gab, which led to one of the things that led to the whole awful shooting over the weekend. And so this is what my point is. Oh, dang it, I did it again. Oh, shoot. Well, whoa. I was gonna...
What is this?
Oh, it's the end of the show is what it is. I have to wrap this baby up. Oh, so much I didn't get to. Well, at any rate, I had a little candy this morning. So enjoy the candy that's left over. The stuff that you didn't give away. The stuff that your kids brought home that they decided they didn't want to eat. The stuff that... And oh, the Mario Brother costumes. I saw a lot of great Mario Brother costumes for some reason this year. It was awesome. And a lot of Marvel... I saw Ant-Man, Black Panther, little kids is dressed as that. Oh, it's awesome. I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know the Marvel Universe that well. And I'm like, that guy is... He's the one that's sort of robotic, but is he cyborg? Is he Iron Man? Enjoy your day is my summation as I wrap this up. And, oh, the podcast picture was of the wonderful Basil the Boxer looking at a sad but lovely altar, as today is Dias de los Muertos. And there was somebody who created a little altar in memory of dogs that we have lost. Companions we have lost, and that we'll never forget. And that's at the dog park at the Oyster Bay Regional Shoreline, where is the only place I've ever gotten a dog ticket, because Basil was off leash, as I've mentioned before. So, see that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. Help out the show there at mikesdailypodcast.com. Tell all your friends about mikesdailypodcast.com. Spread the news. Tell them that next year your street is going to be the popular one during Halloween. Not Sandy. No, Sandy did a great job. There was like a guy, he made his front lawn look like there was a bunch of skeletons and a hazmat tent where you're supposed to clean yourself off after some raid. Yeah, actually, I don't even really know what that was about. Maybe that was something I was supposed to... I don't know, I'm confused. I'm falling into another eddy again. Have a great day. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rutabaga Valentino Bison Bentley, and maybe some of my characters will show up in Halloween costumes, as we didn't get to do a Halloween episode. Why not? It's only the beginning of November. Oh, November, my birthday month. Ugh! This is the big half-century mark is coming up soon. Ugh! Oh, dang it, Eddie. Eddie, oh, Eddie. Hey, that means a little bit of this coming up. Woohoo! But wait, more kids than ever came to my house last night. More kids than I've ever had trick or treat at my house happened last night, and that is because we're bringing you down, Sandy. Ha ha!
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!